I just can't see him walking away from the sport at under 30. I just can't.
I mean, if he wants to fight, then I don't think he should leave the UFC because
I think if he wants to fight, he should leave the UFC because I
you
don't
think he
think that
should go to
there's
one? What organization?
anywhere else, just anywhere. I
Bellator?
think I think he's a
I
champion
think he
anywhere
could
else.
become a champ at Bellator.
I think he could be a champion in any other organization. I just think UFC, you got guys like you got Volk who you clearly can't beat.
I like that. I kind of like seeing Max Holloway in
But
another organization, but I kind of
exactly.
do. I for me, it's like if I want to win a belt and be like someone who's a champion and like highly regarded in a division where I'm celebrated because I'm champ, then of course. But if he doesn't necessarily care about that and he just wants fun fights and money, he should stay in the UFC because you're forgetting he could fight Conor. Conor made a video the other week
I saw
calling Max out. Yeah, you saw it. He was at a bar and he saw someone that looked like Max and he called him out.
that.
Dude, how fun would that be? Because that's actually
That's a
not
great
a
fight.
terrible fight for Conor because
It's not a
Max
terrible fight for
doesn't have
Max
power.
either.
He doesn't have power, and he has a great chin. Connor's gonna have to fucking train his cardio like a madman though, because it's gonna be hard to finish Max. But nonetheless, that's a fun fight. And Max Holloway hasn't TKO'd anyone in a long time. Conor could win that fight based on knockdowns.
Oh, he
He
can
could
win that fight
get his
based off
ass kicked in the
points.
last 2 rounds and survive.
He could win the first 3 rounds and then just
That's
lose
what
the
I'm saying.
last two.
Max Holloway could get the money fight, and Conor respects Max. They fought. He respects him.
Oh, he likes him.
No one hates Max Holloway, so
No,
I think he should stay. And I think honestly, if Conor's gonna come fight anyone, even though I'd pick Max to win,
you'd pick
I
Max
think
to beat him.
at 155
What if they? You know what? Imagine they just do
they
170.
should make Max Holloway and Conor at 155.
What about
That
170?
would be a big card. Everyone would love it. It'd be a war. It'd be fun. Conor would probably knock Max down. Well, Max has never been knocked
No,
down, by the
I
way.
don't. I don't think you would knock him down. I just think
I'd
he.
pick Max, dude.
I would pick Connor because I think he's gonna land the more powerful punches and
But
strikes.
dude, this is the worst Conor ever. You
But
think
like
Conor's gonna be the same
Max
dude
is so.
that
I
fought
don't think he's
Nate
gonna be the
Diaz?
same. But I just think that Max is super hittable too. You know what I mean? I don't think
For
that's
sure, he is. I
especially at
think Conor could win
155.
rounds. I just think what happens when it's the third round and Conor's starting to get tired, Max is still the same.
I think he'd still land the bigger strike. I think what about when Max's face is all fucked up? You know what I mean? The judges are looking at that too, like
Dude, I would still pick Max just because listen, Max lost to Volk. Volk
he
is
also lost
probably
the
is the
not,
best 45er ever. Max Holloway before then beat Yair Rodriguez, who is in his prime, who's one of the best strikers in the UFC. I can't pick Conor to beat Max Holloway right now. I think we're writing off Max because of what we saw Volk do to him. If he had a close fight with Volk, you would not be picking
no.
Conor.
But at the same
I
time, he
think
just
Volk, it's unfair to write him off just because of the Volk fight, because Volk is just that much better at 45.
but he also you got to
I just
remember
think I just think that Conor, like the Conor that we're gonna see, is a guy who is coming off of a leg injury, has been filming movies, vacationing for half the year, training with cardio kickboxers, dude. He's not I don't think Conor's anywhere near as good as he used to be. Like I'm picturing Conor knocking down Nate Diaz like that. Those are the big shots I'm thinking that you're talking about. But I don't think he's landing those. He didn't drop Poirier in the rematch.
but Poirier's gotten doesn't usually get dropped. And also you got to
And
remember
neither did
but
poor Conor looked tired in that second round.
yeah, but I mean I think that was because of the leg kicks, but I don't think Max doesn't chop at legs. But anyways, the thing about the Max thing is I also you got to remember like yeah, like if he had a closer fight with Volk, maybe we'd be saying something different, but he also took a ton of damage against Volk. We saw with
Yeah.
a guy like Tony Ferguson how one fight could change your career. With Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
Although Max Holloway didn't get finished like Tony Ferguson did, the those kind of fights, those kind of wars could change your career.
I think it's safe to say that this is probably the biggest fight, the most realistic and fun fight that Conor could have. I know I want Conor to fight Cans. It's not realistic. The most
Not gonna happen.
realistic thing that they'll do, even Patty Pimble, the UFC is too stupid to put on anything genius, which is what I would do with Conor. What I would do with Conor is I would do Patty, I would do someone else
Hooker.
who's not that good. Then I would do Max, or then I would do Hooker. I would do Patty, Hooker, Max, or just Patty, Max.
Hooker
They're
Gaethje.
stupid. They're not going to do that. What that they're probably going to do, which is genius, is Max Holloway.
That's perfect. Why do you think he's getting held out?
Max Holloway, bro, big fight.
That's I want to. I
I
would love
mean,
to see that fight.
I'd
Like
rather see that than Gagey. I think it's a. I think I don't want to see Conor get KO'd.
I don't think he gets KO'd by Gaethje though. I generally think he
I
beats
do, man. I
Gaethje.
think he gets finished.
But I think Gaethje's strikes like a drunk guy, and I think that Conor, all he would need to do was just be like 50-60% of what he was to like land the big
But
shot and
I don't know
drop him.
if 60 losing 40% of your edge is such a big deal. And like I can't speak, like the thing is I just can't look at Conor as if he's anywhere near as good as he was.
I don't think
And
he
when I'm
needs to
saying he
be.
was, I'm not even talking about the 2016, 2015
No,
Conor.
the
I'm even talking about the
2021.
2020, 2021. Like I don't think he'll even be near as good as that. He's got injured. He's not the same, man. And he wilts. He doesn't want it as bad. When these guys are going to war, Conor has a way out. He has that thing in his mind and his subconscious saying, just go home on the yacht. You know? Justin Gagey
Yeah,
doesn't have that.
no, but Max Holloway, on the other hand,
Max Holloway,
went to like a big
he has that
war.
dog in him too.
Yeah, no, but I just think that
I could see Max finishing Conor too. I could see him pouring it on Conor, just wanting a way out. Look, I could get 100 more shots to the face, or I could take a couple shots of proper 12 on my yacht.
that's what a line.
I could see it.
Yeah, I think that's the fight to make. I do.
Dude,
I think that's
Conor
a
and Max
realistic
is the
fight.
fucking fight to make.
Get
Imagine they
Max
do
to
it in
beat him.
Dublin or the first UFC event ever in Hawaii, Honolulu. It'd be
Ooh.
hard to sell it out because there's not that many people, but dude, they
I think
could
people would
do.
travel for that.
People would travel for that. Max, if I was the UFC, I would call up Max. I would call up Conor. I'd put him on a call. I'd say, hey guys, we've been thinking about it. This is a great fight. It's fun. You guys both have respect for each other. This is going to bring in a lot of money. Both of you guys are big names. It's going to be competitive. Where do you guys want it? Oh, you want it in Dublin? Great, let's do it in Dublin. Max Holloway would be happy to go there.
Who
If
says no?
Conor,
Nobody.
imagine Conor says Hawaii, then the UFC's like, oh, we got to do Hawaii. Like they're gonna do it if the both like just come on, the UFC, dude. I gotta run the UFC. We have to run the UFC because
Yeah.
I'm tired of them not doing this shit.
Imagine the fights we'd make.
Bro, if we ran the UFC, we'd have the best year ever.
Exactly. Like we talked about in
Yeah.
the last podcast. Like the fights we'd make are better than UFC could even dream of making. You know.
Yeah.
But no, like I think Max, like neither of those guys would say no. That's the thing about it. You know what I mean? You think
Neither of them would say no.
think Max Holloway's turning down a fight against Conor? No. Conor McGregor clearly isn't going to turn out a fight against Max Holloway. He won't turn
The thing
out
is,
a fight against
Conor
anybody.
also picks and chooses. He's like picky. He doesn't like guys. He won't fight them because he doesn't think they deserve the payday.
Exactly.
He
That's
likes
what
Max.
I think. I think Conor's next opponent has to be a guy he respects.
Yeah.
I think at this point in his career, this late in his career, like this much money he's made, he's got to fight people he actually somewhat respects. I think that's what you saw in the second Poirier fight. Obviously, something happened in between the second and third fight. So that's why I think he fought him again, and that he lost. But I think as we saw from the second fight, like even against Cowboy, he's not gonna come back to fight guys he just doesn't like, or like he's gonna fight guys he respects. So I think he respects Max Holloway. He said it many times that he respects Max Holloway.
He told him at the bar the other week.
Yeah, I don't think he respects a Justin Gaethje.
No,
I don't think he respects.
I don't think that's a good fight for him either. You know, Justin Gaethje. I feel like Conor would go into that fight angry, and I feel like that's not good for him.
I don't know. I still think Conor would win that fight, but I just don't think he respects Gaethje, so I don't think he's going to take that fight.
He respects Pimblett, but he won't take it because Pimblett's not highly ranked.
Yeah, Conor still has an ego, you know.
Imagine Conor comes back to fight Shavkat. That'd be a nightmare.
Oh my god!
If the UFC they'll never do that.
Yeah, no. What I was actually thinking about, someone commented on our 3-step plan for Conor, and it really made me think and be like, maybe this is Conor's plan actually, which is a really stupid plan. I think that there's no way it ends up working. But what if Conor's trying to get the 170-pound bout? Maybe that's what he's trying to do. That's what I'm saying. I don't think there's a good fight for him, but maybe what is he going to
beat Colby or Usman?
Exactly, but do you think that's his plan? You think that's what his delusional?
I think Conor, if he thinks he can become a champion at 170, he's delusional.
I think he is delusional, but do you think that's his plan? Do you think he's?
I hope it's not, man. I'm really hoping it's not because he's gonna have to fight grapplers.
And
And these guys are just gonna take him down.
oh, I completely agree. I think it's stupid, but what if in his like mind, if his delusion mind is like, oh, I
Then
made all this
then
money.
he'll lose, and then we only get to see him 2 more times ever.
Exactly. But I'm just hoping that's not the case. But I have a feeling that
Yeah,
there's a
dude, if he fights Max, like it'll be a war, but at least it'll be
perfect
a
fight.
legendary fight. I could see that being like the Nate Diaz rematch.
Oh,
Like it will be
for
a legendary fight.
without a
It'll be
doubt.
like a fight of the year.
What if Conor? I know that there's a slim chance, but what if he does knock out Max Holloway?
Then
Imagine
that's huge.
being the first guy to knock out a guy like Max Holloway in your return fight. Imagine the
That's
hype that would
bad. That's
go
big.
around with Conor at that point.
And
And
you could do a big co-main event. If that's for 150 pound, 155, then you could do maybe a Fiziev, Gagey on the
PG.
undercard, or
And
on the
that press conference would be great.
press conference would be
Imagine.
great. You could even do, maybe you could do the 145-pound title on it too.
Yeah, you could do Yair versus Volk. I'm sure
Yeah, I
Volk like
feel like they always understack the McGregor cards. I know the last one in 2021 was decent, but
it was good. It
I
was
feel like in general they never put like they would never do a heavyweight title fight on the same night as a McGregor because it's just
no,
bad business, I guess. But I feel like you got to really stack. If you stack a McGregor card,
oh
the
dude.
UFC could sell like 3 million pay-per-views if they stacked it.
Imagine John Jones and McGregor.
John Jones, dude, if they did Conor, Max, and then John Jones and Ganu on the same card, that would sell at 3 million.
4 million.
That shit would literally, dude. John Jones would sell 1 million. So then add another couple million for Conor and Jones being on the same card. That would be the
That
biggest
would be
card
the
of all
biggest
time.
pay per view of all time. Will
Ever.
they do it? Will they do it? No. But
No.
anyways, no. Max.
I
Now
think
that
Max and Conor alone sells 2 million.